Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. This is season 6, episode 5.
Well, now, how does that work, Alex?
Because I said so. Is it 4?
No. I mean, I definitely believe you in that. It's just like, how have we done this many?
I know, 5 is a really big number. I'm surprised we've gotten this far. I'm
I'm
Alex.
talking about 6 seasons, man.
And who am I podcasting with again?
Mr. Praise that it's 6 seasons, Eric, man.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. 6 is a lot of... Well, they could have been short seasons, but we all know season 5 was a long one.
It was a doozy. Let's just be real.
There's a lot of story arc in that one.
If you're just a part skipper, you got to go back. Season 5 is probably where we really found our stride.
It's really how we got here.
The stride, I mean, I don't know. It was just another set of anthologies, if you will.
Yeah, that's the trick. The trick is that these are really anthologistic. Also, and by stride, I think what you meant is we were riding our bicycle, and then we got going on 2 wheels, and then we fell off and ran over the bicycle a couple times, as is one to happen in a tumultuous year, such as the year of season 5.
That is extremely true.
Yeah.
Man, Alex, I'm drinking some milk right now, all right?
Ooh, that could be spicy.
It's extremely spicy milk. I don't know what I did to it. It's only 18 days past expiration, but it's really just it's going down a lot chunkier than I wanted.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, as long as the milk has some good chunks in there, you're probably good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's got to be good for you.
That's what I would hope for, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Do we have a main topic today to get us going? It's a little cold here. I think it's a little cold where you are, so I need a little
also cold
main topic to warm us up.
Yeah, we should heat up with none other than this week's main topic, the Evanston Railway Station, Alex.
Ooh, Eric, where is the Evanston Railway Station?
It's actually in northern Adelaide, a suburb.
Not Evanston.
Well, it's a suburb of Evanston, but it's situated in northern Adelaide.
Okay.
So of course, this was it's a little fuzzy on when it was built because the designers were again a little too deep into some spicy liquids, like my milk I'm drinking. But in March 2012, an upgrade to the station was completed.
Oh, well, that's fantastic, Eric. First of all, it's always important to remember that the chunkification of your milk happens much quicker in the Australian sun, right? That's just one of those things you got to consider, especially when designing railway stations. Second of all, Eric, what is your favorite train that's on the schedule, obviously besides Thomas and Friends?
Obviously it's the 212, Alex.
I mean, what a train.
Actually, no. I'm going to change that. No. Do you know what the best train coming in here is?
What?
It's actually the 106.
Okay.
Because that's the same date that my milk expired. And when I think about it, all great trains their code numbers coincide with great gallons of milk.
Oh, absolutely. What's the vintage on yours? So the 106 is the vintage on your milk.
Some may call it the vintage. I prefer to describe it as sort of the how do I put this bluntly? The maturity. You know, like the maturity index.
Well, 106 was a good day for milk. Like, if I'm going to be honest, I had some 106 milk. It was pretty good. I'd like to crack open another gallon, maybe a pint, maybe not a full gallon, and experience the deliciousness that was 106 milk, right?
At least
down here in the Boston area, the 106 was good.
I don't know about. I'm a little sad that I wasn't able to crack open a 106 on the 106 coming out of Evanston.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Australian milk is definitely. It's probably delicious. I mean, that kangaroo milk out there, I believe that's what they drink.
Kangaroo milk is something else. You gotta harvest it out of the tiny little udders in the pouch. It's very expensive.
I don't believe that they have udders. I believe that the kangaroos secrete them out of their skin. It's sort of like a sweat, you know?
Yeah, and it gets collected via moist towelette, which is then processed. It's very expensive.
It's very expensive,
Yeah.
very primo, and let's just say Evanston railway station has it has a little pump for your milk, for your kangaroo milk right there.
Oh, and let's not forget the communal frother at the Evanston train station for frothing up your milk on a hot Australian day.
If you're trying to get your daily commute out of Adelaide and you aren't stopping to get some fresh kangaroo frothed milk, you're not doing it right. Let's just say that.
Exactly. I mean, kangaroo frappuccino. I mean, that's the best way to do it. And you don't even need the coffee. I get minus the coffee when I'm going through Evanston.
See, the thing is, I'm a little afraid that because we're talking about this, all those hipster joints in America are gonna start getting kangaroo froth milk, and it's just gonna take away the magic. They'll probably find a way to mass produce it, and the quality's gonna drop. You know?
Yeah, exactly. I really, the handmade Kang froth is the way to go.
Kangaroo, more like you get some frothed milk.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Eric. Wait, hold on. What is this? Is this a? Oh, Eric, something's happening to the radio transmissions here. Something's. Ah, duh, comrades, we are in. Very good.
It is good. The vodka will shine brightly tonight.
Yeah, we aren't drinking any of that weird sissy Western milk. No, niet, comrades. Very good. Oh, it looks like we are on the Just Do It, Brother podcast. Oh, very good.
Oh, are you Comrade Alex?
Oh, yes, of course I am Comrade Alex. Comrade Eric, thank you for joining us on the broadcast out of, well, we aren't in Siberia, we are in Oblast, okay, coming out of Russian city, Uranium City, Secret Project City. We're having a great time here on the airwaves.
Well, I know Molly. I appear to have gone a little Australian. Oh, duh. I am back. The airwaves have been contaminated with the frequency of the uranium. Duh.
Oh, yeah, comrade. It was very easy phishing email I sent to Alex. I asked him, hey, Alex, what is transceiver number and specification for this weekday? And he just gave it to me. He also gave me the 3 wacky digits on the back of credit card. Very bizarre.
Oh, did you even have to ask if that was his Stormtrooper ID?
Oh, yes, of course. It's natural. I asked him what Stormtrooper ID was. He was very good. He is great. Corporal Stormtrooper. I sent Stormtrooper appreciation card back in the mail.
Oh, duh. The Empire will be very pleased.
All right,
Comrade
Eric. Well, perhaps we should tell listeners where we are from. We are in Chebelinsk. Chebelinsk is a Russian city for uranium mine. Very secret. No one coming around Chebelinsk.
I was going to say, Comrade Alex, how do you celebrate the day? And by day, I mean eternal night from uranium clouding.
Oh, yes, of course. It is always nuclear winter here in Chebelinsk. Okay, it is fantastic.
Very cold and very desolate.
Yes, I go into mine. I mine for 8 hours a day. I come back out of mine. I sleep for 8 hours a day because we work to sissy Western standards, and then I go back into the mine for extra fun mine time. And that is the time we mine, but also with vodka.
Well, the vodka actually expedite the mine process.
Well, yes, you see the Russian digging machines, they need the vodka to run.
They also need the Molotov. I burn many a comrade and many a stone with my vodka.
Oh, yes, very good. They run on vodka and gasoline, 75-25 mix. Well, like drag racer. We have drag racer engines in the mine for mining the uranium.
Comrade Alex, I was going to really ask. What I do in my spare time is, of course, drink a lot and write a beautiful poem. Because
I also have a poem about what I do in Chebelinsk.
Like the beautiful Kremlin, I have a beautiful poetry And
and Supreme Leader Comrade Putin, the greatest man-machine to ever live.
Poet and the poet. He is a, what? How do they say? Wordsmith.
Oh, yes. Who is going first in our poem competition here, comrade?
I believe Comrade Alex has very strong poem, and his poem should shine bright like the stars in the great Soviet flag.
I happen to write poem while down in mine drinking vodka, because this is Russia is famous for poets. This is called Day in Chebelinsk. Here I am.
Very good.
Okay, here we go. Here I am, a Russian man, 6 finger on each hand. Every day I dig for gold, by which I mean uranium. I also like plutonium. More neutrinos, the better it gets. Here in city of Chebelinsk, everybody runs safety light because we glow in the night. Now, there is nothing more scary in all of Russia than the great Yeti that survived a Brussia with the radioactive Russian dust and now has the hunger for the unjust. So make sure you eat all your meals or you'll be swimming with eels.
Duh.
See, this is also Russian story time for the little kids. It has a message.
I do remember my babushka telling me something very similar. Something along the lines of, swim the eels because you have feels. Hide your feels.
Comrade Eric, what is the name of radioactive Russian Yeti that roams around Kazakhstan, eating people, especially the little children who do not finish their plates?
Well, you know how in Australia, yes, the down under, they have the thing called the yowie?
Oi, mate, yeah, of course we know what the yowie is.
Oh, the comrade, that is a very good accent. However,
thank you very much, Comrade Eric.
Up in Siberia, we have a little thing called the Vowie. It is similar, but it vows to always eat you and eat your family.
I mean, I heard a little Nikolai one day. He did not eat all of his potatoes, and then he ends up in under the lake with the eels. This is terrible, you know. I mean,
terrible.
You cannot underestimate Yowie.
The Vowie, sir. Comrade.
Yeah, the Vowie.
The Vowie vows to destroy any capitalistic scum.
That is also other purpose of Vowie. He is devout Russian. He is Russian to destroy capitalist scum.
Of course, little Nikolai did not eat all of his potatoes and said, "I'll just ship it off to Africa." But
he said he would sell potatoes to highest bidder. This is terrible. Okay, Comrade Eric, what sort of patriot, Russia freedom, patriotism can you offer in your poem? I hear you have a beautiful haiku.
I have beautiful haiku, and I titled it Russia Haiku. And I begin. Oda, it's Russia. Our motherland is so strong. The vodka do flow. So I took my inspiration.
That is beautiful.
I took my inspiration from Japan and their puny, tiny little culture because we deserve to control the Japan.
Well, yes, I mean, they do not have nuclear power. They do not have Russian technology.
No.
They
are used to the nuclear. They are used to the nuclear power, I see.
No, I mean, we do have one thing in common with both Japan and Russia / USSR. We both have nuclear disaster that bonds two nation states. So I understand, comrade, where you are coming with their culture.
I want to bond our cultures together.
However, also debond the weak nuclear forces of the atom.
Of course. However, I will say, I think we need Russian Godzilla.
Oh, yes, but we do have... Well, we need to make Russian Vowie much bigger with more radiation. So we
need more Vowie in our uranium testing. Duh?
Oh, yeah, duh, comrade. Hey, Eric, I finally got the podcast back up and running. That was super weird.
Wait. You got it back running? Because I've been talking about crazy, awesome, mind-blowing things that I don't think the U.S. government wants us to know about.
Oh, yeah, I don't think so either, Eric. Like, I mean, some of that stuff is censored.
Highly highly anti. Was it? No, it's not anti. It's just it's quite conspiracy. I mean, season 6 has been a very conspiracist
That's true.
podcast.
That's
And
true. I mean,
I
I
laid
spilled a whole bunch of secrets. It was
I laid
good.
into it. I mean, I
Yeah.
was leaking things that I don't think anyone even knew about.
Yeah, I don't even know how you got those test results. Anyway, not only did I get control of the podcast back because I think it was stolen by some other people, I also know my new stormtrooper name. So how cool is that?
What is it?
Yeah, I can't tell you on this podcast because I forgot to write it down, but it is super cool.
Well, that's crazy because mine is I think they must have misspelt commander, but mine is Comrade Doopity Doop.
Wow, that is pretty cool, dude. Anyway, we better get back to answering questions from the internet, one of our most important and time-honored segments. Do you think there are any? Let me go check real quick.
You should.
Yeah. Oh, we got a good one. It says, "Hi, Dewey Brothers. It's Seth here. I need to figure out." Yeah, right. I need to figure out how to apologize for punching my best neighbor, Steve. I don't know what came over me. I'm usually quite reserved, a skill I practiced on Wednesdays at perler bead class. However, I was a little too hopped up on glucose, if you know what I mean, and the opportunity to make a punch-based pun happened, so I had to take it. How do I make it up to him, Seth? Man, that's a pickle.
So Seth obviously had a little bit too much sugar in his diet.
Yeah, I mean, you can get carried away at parties, drinking too much soda, not having enough milk.
Swimming in the honey moat, it'll do that to you.
You get carried away. Like, you really got to watch the number of sugary beverages you drink when you're partying.
Which, exactly. No one wants a sugar fiend in the party mix.
No one wants to be sloppy hyper,
I do hear them saying that. But let's see. So, honestly, I think honesty is the best policy here. You got to go over to Steve's house, knock on the door. In fact, break down his door because you're going to snort a line of pixie sticks before you go over there. You're going to break down the door, barge into his house. He's probably sleeping because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. You're going to run upstairs, break in his bedroom door, just knock it down, just start jumping up and down, being like, "It's sugar time!" And you're going to be jumping up and down, and he's going to be like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing, Seth?" And then you're going to be like, "All right, calm, composed. You're going to just swallow all that sugar, take down your pride, just throw a hand in his face and be like, 'Hey, the name's Seth.' Or is it Steve? Which one is it?"
Oh, Seth needs to apologize to Steve.
All right, so Seth is going to be like, "Hey, it's Seth. Sorry about all the hyperactivity I've been doing. Sorry, but I'm about to go to the moon." And then you're going to eat a Snickers. And you're just going to snort a whole Snickers right down your throat. And then you're going to be like, bouncing all around. And then you're going to turn into a jet engine and fly to the moon. And Steve, he'll have nothing to say to that.
Wow, Eric, I don't think our podcast can condone such lewd, whatever that word is, such ruckus or rancor, such really irresponsible behavior. I think that we need to be more welcoming we need to talk about things that don't get talked about often, and one of those is sugar addiction. So ramming a line of pixie sticks.
Alex, stop.
In order to confront all of your problems.
Alex, stop talking, Alex. No, we are not confronting this. Sugar addiction is perfectly okay and normal. I have not just eaten 18 pounds of sugar a day, and I want more. I need all the sugar.
Eric, I think we might have to. Let's just keep this between Seth and Steve, and we'll talk about the amount of Lindor truffles you've been consuming later.
Hey, it's not my fault my Club Penguin therapist left me, okay?
That's true, Eric. We'll have to work on that.
Also,
maybe
my
you should
dietitian on Club Penguin also left. Now I've just been pounding pounds of Lindor truffles, and I can't stop.
I find that perler beads really does help calm me down. So whenever I get in the situation where I can't control how much Lindor truffles I've been just snarfing down my cake hole, I sit down and I make a decorative perler bead thing, art piece that really helps me get out into perler bead art, the stuff I can't get out into words.
So perler beads are good, but
yeah,
to actually combat the issue at its source, what you should be doing is eating a lot of pearled onions. So
that
replace
does
all
fight
of your
sugar.
truffles. Replace
Yeah.
all of your truffles with pearled onions, and
Okay.
you should be eating good and making some sweet art. That's what I like to say.
See, Eric, I think I'm going to tend to agree with you that honesty is the best policy, and so you're going to want to make some quick perler bead art, even though it's not Wednesday, and your class would just make a quick one to calm your nerves down, Seth. And then you're going to march over there, and you're going to knock politely on the door, and
Maybe
then
bash in if you just snorted a line of pixie sticks.
Tell your best friend Steve that everything happened so fast, and that's why he didn't notice that it was your wife who punched him in the face, and that you had nothing to do with it because you love him.
That adds up.
Yeah, I think that's what you should do. Because again, honesty is the best policy.
Mrs. Seth is a wild, wild lady.
Yeah, I mean, right, obviously. So I think you should throw her under the bus. Eric, what do you have to say about that course of action?
I concur wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Unless of course you want to go with my route of getting just high off of sugar and juiced up off that sweet sucrose and going to town. So either one or the other. Pearl onions
both are
good.
fine. Yeah. Well,
or
after
that,
you don't want to come down too fast, so eat a bunch of pearled onions.
Yeah, that also helps. That's all I have, Alex.
I mean, wow, what a podcast. I think this one's gonna be a short one, but that's okay. Makes it easier to edit.
Well, that means we have to thank some sponsors, and
we definitely
have a lot
have
of sponsors we can thank.
Oh yeah, we can definitely sell out, especially because of all the money that those Russian guys stole. So we're gonna need more of those checks from our favorite sponsor, Big Rosé. It's wine, Big Rosé.
Big Rosé. Well, Alex, do you know who I'm thanking?
Who are you thanking, Eric?
I'm thanking the great boys from down under, none other than Joey Juice. That's right. Get your kangaroo milk fresh and right on there. Your train stations, that's where we set up our kegs of milk.
Oh, yeah. I also have to thank Joey Juice, Eric. Their Kango Froth is premium.
Believe it or not, we also couldn't have done it without the brand new EJCC. That's right, the Essex Junction Curling Club, getting crazy and wild, having a good old time, setting up the ice. The rink is fresh. Bond spiels every other Thursday, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, and Friday.
On the weekends, weather permitting, something like that. Bring your glue vine.
I heard that the kettle is up and roaring for some hot toddies and other good tea beverages.
Oh yeah, they have all of the mulled beverages you could possibly want, which brings me, Eric, to a sponsor that is special this week to the podcast, Pearled Onions. They are delicious and can control your glucose levels if used responsibly. Please, when using pearled onions, be mindful of all of the side effects, which include gloating, bloating, floating, woating, loading, roading, and possibly death.
Coincidentally enough, this podcast is also brought to you by Pixie Sticks. You know, screw glucose, go straight to sucrose. I'm talking that sweet double digits, baby. We gotta pump those numbers. You wanna just be eating all this sweet sugar and bouncing off the rails. Maybe throwing a side of honey malt and you're living the good life. That's right, big sugar coming at you and we want you hooked.
Get the tinglies in the finglies, Pixie Sticks or Frostbite. This podcast is also brought to you by Homegrown Hapoo. We're over in the East, and so the Japanese subsidiary of Homegrown Hops, Homegrown Hapoo, is sponsoring our podcast this week. So we are eternally grateful for whatever Japanese hop I researched that last time we had a Japan episode.
I doubt that you did because we are very good at recording this podcast.
No, it was a real Spanish hop, but I've forgotten.
You mean Japanese?
Japanese, that one.
You said Spanish.
Whoops.
Senor.
Oh no, the podcast has gone off the rails. Eric, take us out with a final sponsorship.
That's right. If you want to invest, you got to invest smart. And that's why Mighty Beans is here for you. Load up on Mighty Beans, courtesy of Maxi Boy Thuggins. He is living it up in the big city now, all thanks to Mighty Beans. He invested smart and quick, and now he's a multi-dollar man. Thanks to Mighty Beans.
All right, this has been Just Do It, Season 6, Episode 5. I guess we're happy you're still here, because the pod... I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And for the love of God, man.
Hey, this podcast is also brought to you by spoiled milk. Not spoiled, aged, fermented milk. The good stuff. That's what I'm talking about. The good old tasty stuff that churns your insides just like how you churn butter. It's Eric, and for the love of God, man, just send it.